Well, Virginie Defisher, good to see you again on Destination Canada. How's IMEX been for yourselves?
IMEX means busy. We have the highest number of partners that we've ever had for this show, so the interest is strong.
Yeah, and you're obviously here for more than just attending the show, but you obviously released your Year 2 Impact and Legacy study. What's the thought behind that? What are the findings from that particular study itself?
For sure. So the Legacy and Impact study looks at 3 years. So it's a 3-year study between 2022 and 2025. And we're studying 15 events that are hosted in Canada. All these events are within our 6 economic sectors. They span from very small events, from 370 delegates to 13,000 delegates.
Oh, wow.
So small and large cities. And it aims to uncover beyond the direct economic spend that we all measure, the financial impact, to really look at what those larger impacts into destinations really are.
And what are the findings? Have there been any particular developments on that? What are any key highlights for that in particular from some of the?
So that's what we were uncovering. I can share. So what we've really uncovered is 9 legacy drivers that meetings need to plan to actually have legacy into their events. The second vital element is 4 key success factors that we actually uncovered those in year 1, but we are now confident of the power of what those are, and I can share those with you. We also identified, out of our methodology, there's about 8 profound outcomes that you can achieve with events. We identified 6 of them, which are mostly social and human outcomes of events. And finally, what we uncovered is what happens when you fail to plan.
Ah, wow. And?
The challenge is we're not a city DMO, we're a national organization, right? So we don't work directly with the clients on a one-on-one on developing a legacy plan. So what we want to understand is when you don't necessarily have an intentional legacy plan, what is the blueprint for still measuring those beyond tourism benefits that we try to understand?
Okay. All right. And what is the third year of the study then? What does that involve?
So the third year, what we're going to look at is, so year 1, we had 7 events out of the 15. Year 2, we added 5 more. So it was 12 events because we continued studying the year 1 events. So for year 3, we'll have the final 3. So we'll have the full 15 events. But in addition to that, we're measuring how Indigenous components are being included and the impact that it has on those communities.
Okay.
We're adding how our financial incentive for events, the International Convention Attraction Fund, which actually has extra bonus points or money attributed to events if they include a legacy plan, if that makes any difference. And then we're going deeper in terms of some of the interviews with those events to see what truly happens when you really study them.
Oh, wow.
Beginning to end.
And is this something you're just undertaking on your own, or are you doing it in partnership with somebody else? Or?
So it's a Destination Canada project, but we've hired 2 amazing experts in the field. So we're working with M.I.C.E for Impact and Gaining Edge.
Yes, yep.
So they're helping us with all the data parts of it. But truly for Destination Canada, we're really trying to understand, we know that business events unleash an amazing economic benefit to destinations, but we're trying to minimize the environmental footprint, but really boost and maximize the socioeconomic and the cultural handprints that events leave behind. But how can we measure that, and how can we tangibly explain and showcase those results?
And obviously another thing is that sustainability is obviously a big part of what you're passionate about. And obviously with GDS and Guy Bigwood, I know you've got 14 or 15 of the cities involved in that as well now? 16, okay. So are you seeing much coming from the smaller cities now? Are they making sort of more of a push towards bringing in events? How has their progress been as well?
So we work with about 20 destinations across the country from a business events perspective on the international market. And definitely we've seen the evolution through our national sustainability plan for business events, how that evolution has gone. Everyone's on their own journey, but we are really seeing an uptake in terms of how sustainability is presented to clients and how we can host more sustainable events in Canada. This is part of the legacy that we leave behind. So these 2 projects are really interlinked. They don't go without one or the other.
Yeah. And Switching slightly from a political standpoint, in terms of what's going on with the US, etc., have you seen much effect on that? Has that had a positive outcome on what you're experiencing at the moment? What kind of how's that affecting you?
So that's something we're very closely monitoring, as you can imagine, and so are our cities. But the data actually is still very strong. So conferences and events coming from the US are very steady. And besides the anecdotal stories that we're seeing, we are very strong and confident with our brand that's rooted in openness, open hearts, open minds, open spaces. And that's the message we want to share, is how we promote Canada. You are welcome when you're being hosted here. So that's the message we want to leave behind.
Yeah. And are you seeing an increased interest globally outside of the US as well? Are you sort of
IMEX will tell.
yeah, that's true. And looking at your key event sectors, as we were talking about earlier, are there any particular sectors that are really showing bigger growth than others at the moment? So I know you're obviously very big on life sciences, technology. Are there other sort of the smaller sectors that are really making a big push?
There is. What we're seeing is, so life science is by far the biggest sector, anything including medical events. Those are, of course, very heavily impacted by research funding or government participation. We're also looking on the digital industries, the technology side. There's a lot of movement from that front. Basically, from our 6 sectors, as soon as you have changes or innovation happening in the sector, the more need there is to meet. And so that goes hand in hand.
And expectations from this, you're saying that you will see on the back of this what's going to come out of the results of how the stand partners feeling, sort of what kind of feedback are they getting? Have you spoken to them at all?
Our partners are very optimistic.
Are they?
I think this is a really good time for Canada.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, our brand is strong, and there's a lot of interest.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, that's good to hear. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for the quick update and what's going on, but well done on the study, and hope and good response to that too. And look forward to what year 3 delivers as well.
Yes.
Fantastic.
1 year
Super.
next year in Frankfurt.
Oh, brilliant. Look forward to that. Thanks, Virginie. Appreciate it. Super. Thank you. Short and sweet.